Dear friends, in this video, I'd like to go on our journey of pen testing on the Vulnhub. The machine would be g0rmint 1, which link would be added into the description section below. So if you want, you can download and play this machine. Based on my experience with this machine is a bit hard, which involves so many different stages and a variety of techniques. Without further ado, let's just get started. We can switch into the Kali Linux VM. The first, we need to discover the IP address of the target. As you know, normally I will use net discover and with the option of I to specify the interface. We can net discover will send packets through this interface, and followed by the R option to specify the network range. So we can press enter. It's start scanning. However, from the status we can know that we have already finished the scanning. Nothing or no machine can be found by the net discover. So next we can use its alternative nmap and with option of SN, which means that the host discovery, and we can do, this would be the most common way for me to discover the IP address of the target. And as you can see, the IP address of the target can be identified as 154. Next, we need to do the port scanning with a map. I've already done that earlier. To save the time, as you can see, I used the options like SyncScan, the version scan, the default script scan, and followed by the -p- to do the comprehensive scan, and then uppercase P N not to do the live testing. In other words, we will assume that the target is always online. And the last option of all would be ON to output the result into this file. And of course, as we know, the nmap can support other types of formats. From the nmap, of course, the IP address has been changed a bit. And then from the nmap scanning, we can tell that the target has two open ports. The first one is 22, which is running SSH surface or secure shell surface, and its version number, as we know, this version doesn't have any vulnerability. The next one is 80, which is running HTTP surface and also the version information. And even we can know that the target has robots file available, and this file has one disallowed entry. This one. Later we can use browser to make manual enumeration about this entry or directory. However, the title, we can know that this title is 404 not found. A bit weird. Anyway, now we start our enumeration with HTTP surface, and we can launch our browser to do the manual enumeration first. We can put the IP address of the target into the address bar. Press enter, not found. And of course, we can access robots file. From the nmap, we have already know that the target has this entry. Too easy? Let's see. Of course, this machine is not easy at all. And then we can access this directory. Press enter. We are prompted by this user login panel, and we need to provide the email and password to log in. And so, of course, because now we didn't get any email yet, so maybe we do not, it's not reasonable to test weak credential vulnerability. However, we can use the SQL map to see whether we can discover the SQL injection vulnerability. Before we do that, maybe I can use, for example, to see this field has, we can use the login bypass technique to log in. And the password, submit, not working. All right. So next we need, of course, we need to check the source code. At this point, I cannot find anything important or interesting, just like JavaScript code and also the style sheets links. Next, so what are we going to do next? We need to do some enumeration automatically. For example, we can launch this automatic enumeration by Nicto. And the directory name is this one. We can copy and put in the end. I need to remove this redundant slash. When we deal with the web application, in most cases we can use Nicto to do the automatic enumeration, because it can enumerate out very important information in many cases. For example, like version information, the header information, the request header information, even some common files or directory we can get from Nicto. Here, a config has been discovered by the Nicto. Nothing returned from the target. The login, of course, we have already know its existence. So next, we need to do the directory enumeration with GoBuster. GoBuster directory, and we can copy the URL. This part, and put it in here. And then we can use the W to specify the word list to scan. GoBuster word list directory, GoBuster directory. I always use this word list to make directory enumeration. Press enter. GoBuster can identify immediately some files like login, profile, index, but many of them needs to be authenticated first. Otherwise, it will be redirected to the login file, the dummy, the main menu. So I think also, it's the case. In the same case for the secrets.php. All right, I don't think we can find any more information from the GoBuster. I'd like to quit from this point. So what we are going to do next? Maybe just now I mentioned we need to test whether this login panel has SQL injection vulnerability. We can put anything like admin test.com, and we can set the proxy to Burp Suite, and then we can launch our Burp Suite. Start Burp Suite. The proxy, intercept, make sure the intercept option is on, and then we can launch, or let's submit, and then we can save this or copy this file, copy this request to file. I've already showcased this technique in other videos, right? So we can call it text. So now we can go back. Okay, it's there. Then we can use SQL map, and with option of R to specify the request file. level. Of course, I'd like to tell you the SQL map cannot succeed in discovering the SQL injection vulnerability at all. To save time, I will not execute at this moment, okay? But for you, I think I recommend you do as this way or this methodology, okay? So now it's time to make for the more manual enumeration, because we have already done almost everything what we can with this web application. Let's turn off the purpose suite and the purpose suite, the proxy to be disabled. Now we can log in, and we need to check the source code of this page. As you can see over here, we need to take a look at the source code very, very carefully. Otherwise, you will miss the important information. As you can see here, normally the meta section, CSS section will not contain important information. However, this case, this is, includes very important information. Okay, here I can see the backup directory, the content. So we need to copy this information onto another book. And this should be the directory. And also, the CSS code. You can, of course, the bootstrap. This is very standard bootstrap code. And next one is, I think this is also bootstrap CSS code. And the style, this style contains this comment, this very, very important information for this machine. As you can see, we got the author and the email. We can copy such information onto our notebook. We can copy. All right, so next we need to access this directory, right? We can copy to see whether this directory is there or not. And we can put in here, enter, not found. If you think that this is the wrong direction, you will be wrong. Actually, we need to make deeper enumeration. We can copy and use the GoBuster to do the directory enumeration. We can GoBuster dir, and we can put the URL here, and we can use the same word list to enumerate GoBuster directory. And as always, I'd like to use the extension option, X option, PHP, HTML, back, text, press enter. Immediately we got the first file, info. So we can access this PHP file. We got another name, a backup zip file. We can check the source code. Sorry, I do not need to open up the developer tool of the browser. We can check so maybe this is another file which contains important information. Backup file always contains some like credentials, even sometimes contains source code. Okay. Okay. If we go back to the terminal, the GoBuster, I think cannot find anything more. So I'd like to quit from the GoBuster here. And now we can access this backup zip file. Backup zip file. It's done. And now we can, I need to remove my history files like this one, download, share. Okay. And now we can set up the directory to host or to save the downloaded backup zip file. And we can move from downloads to download directory, and then we can go into the download directory and unzip this file. It's there, and there's so many files and subdirectories, and this should be, yeah, I think, very complicated and long directory name, and we need to review these files one by one carefully. The first one I'd like to check is login, because just now we cannot authenticate to the target to see whether we can find some credentials from the login page. Yeah, include the config.php file, and we'll, yeah, if conditional, if the submit is there, if the form is submitted, and we got the email and the password. And the password, we will do the MD file calculation, and then we'll pass. Yeah, we create the SQL command, because here use PDL. You know, PDL will prevent attacker from, from the SQL injection vulnerability. Okay, and the bind parameter. So this would be very safe way to run the SQL query. And the fetch, if the count, it means that the email and password is there, and the session will be started, and we'll save the username to the session, and the result username header will be redirected to the index.php file. Otherwise, we will put the email value to the log variable and the reason, and then we'll add log. So maybe next we need to check this function, because this function is not standard function of PHP. All right, let's scroll down. Nothing more we can get. So we need to take a look at the config file, because now the login PHP file will include this file. As you can see here, the log function is defined inside this file, config.php. Apparently, yeah, this function will save the logs into the file, and this should be the directory. Maybe we can copy the entire line onto our notebook. So maybe later we can access this directory and it's a file, and the file name should be complying with this convention, the date, the year, month, and the date. All right. And if a file exists, and then we'll open and we'll append the reason. You know the reason, we know that. And the log is email, right? So the value from the submitted by the email field. And if the file is not there, and then we'll do such things. All right, of course, I think the file should be there. So what can we do next? Maybe next we can access this file, because here maybe we can or utilize the command injection vulnerability. We can put some command into the email field, and then we access this file, this log file, and then this command can be executed and got the result of the command back. Okay, let me show you. So first of all, we can check whether we can access this file. We can copy this directory. Put it in here, followed by the file name. And the file name should be using this format. Yeah, this is the time PHP. However, we are redirected to this login PHP. It means that we need to be authenticated successfully. Then we can access this file or this log file. So how to do? And of course, I think because right now, maybe it's not reasonable to use Hydra to make brute force cracking with this form. However, if you take a look at this panel or this form closely, here there is one link. Click here, we can get a new password. We can click here. So here we can put email and username, because just now we have already got this email in the CSS code, and we can put in here. And maybe the prefix should be the username, right? We can reset. However, user not found in our database. So how about another name? No main, the author name, right? The author, no main. And we can submit. As you can see, a new password has been sent to your email. And here at the bottom, you can see some, some time information, date. Of course, we cannot access or log into the Gmail to retrieve the new password, right? So we need to take a look at how the new password was resetted. If you remember, on our downloaded file, there is reset PHP file. We can cut out this file. And let's review this PHP code. As you can see, if we submit the form, and then the email value will be put into the email variable and the user, and we'll do some query. And if the result is there, of course, the password should be generated by this way. So we can use this two-line to create the password. And the gym-date, this is the standard PHP function. Actually, we do not need to understand this function, because here we have already got some sort of time. And for now, we can, we can copy this line and we can open up another tab, PHP, put it in here, and we need to remove this one, and we can put the time from this login page. Put it in here. Okay, make sure the space in the front should be removed, and also at the end, the space at the end should be removed as well. Otherwise, the value of SHA1 will be different. And now we can echo or print out the password. And we can include this entire code. And we can use a name like password PHP. All right. So then we can, I'd like to open up this current working directory. We can use PHP and run this PHP code. As you can see, we can get the password, and then we can note it down to our notebook. And then we can log in to the target by retrieved password. The email should be this one, right? Oh, not this one, this one. We can copy and paste it in here. And also we need to copy the password. Hopefully it works. It works. Great. So then I think now, because we have already got our session authenticated, so then we can access the log file without a problem, right? And so we can copy the directory. What I'm doing. And then followed by the date. Press enter. As you can see, we got the log file back. So then we need to manipulate or insert some command into this log file or poison this log file. How to do? We can log in to the target again. I need to log out. So we can put some command php and echo and the key on top of or above the tab key on the keyboard. And we can run ls. And we can use the same key to include this command. And the password, any password, because this is not a valid email. So this information will be saved into the log file. Okay, submit, no error. So then we need to log in to this file. However, it's redirect. It means that we need to log in again. And we can copy the email. And the password. Submit. And then we can access the log file. We can copy the date. As you can see, the command ls-lh has been executed properly. So what do we have to do next? We need to get initial for the hold or to run the or upload the reverse shell file. Okay, so how to do? Let me tell you. And we can how to do? We can create the reverse shell file and bin shell, and you can get the reverse shell command from the Pentest monkey website. You can copy and you can paste in here. Of course, we need to make some changes here. We need to use the IP address, our Kali Linux, and also port number. I'd like to change to my favorite one, 555. Okay, it's done, and then we can write and quit. So now we can upload this reverse shell file, and to do that we can set up the web server on the Kali Linux by Python. And now we go back to the login page. We need to log out because we need to insert another command. Sorry about that. It will take time However, I'd like to demonstrate as entirely as possible. Please be patient with me and pair with me all the time. So now we can run command, the key above the tab on the keyboard. I think you know what I mean. And the echo, and wget. IP address of the Kali Linux. And use the same key to include this command. Hopefully, I didn't misspell the command. Submit. No error. And now we need to log in with correct email and password. So we need to repeat the steps over and over again to make it work. And the password, submit, no problem. And then we need to press enter. However, it doesn't work. It means that there's something wrong with my command. Something wrong. I need to run it again. And we can wget http the IP address of the Kali Linux shell sh. No problem. Yeah, as you can see, the target is trying to download the file, shell.sh file. Very good. So now we can run this shell script to get the initial foothold on the target. First of all, we need to set up the listener on the Kali Linux first. Now we can go back, and then we need to run different command here. We can replace this command by new command, the bash shell sh. Submit, no problem. Now we go back to this log file, and then we can press enter. It looks like it's working. Yeah, perfect. As you can see, we got the shell from the target. So wonderful. Yeah, very complicated, right? So then we can spawn the bash session. As usual, Python 3 is there. We can import pty module, pty spawn bin bash. It's done. Then we can navigate to home directory and go to this. There is only one normal user and nothing there. It looks like this user, I mean the g0rmint user, belong to sudo group. So next, I think we need to make lateral movement. So how to do? Of course, we can check the architecture. A bit old. So maybe we can upload the NumPy shell script, right, to do some automatic enumeration. And we can copy from my tools collections directory. And then we can because the web server has already started up. So then we can use wget to upload these nimpiers shell script. No problem. In order to run, we need to make it executable, and then we can run this shell script. You know, during the lateral movement or privilege escalation, in many cases, we can utilize the nimpier shell script to do the automatic enumeration in case we neglect some important information. It's done. And we can scroll up to the top to see whether we can find some vectors which allow us to elevate our privilege. Not too much information or not too much vectors except the few local exploits. And another important thing of this target, no GCC compiler. As you can see, no GCC compiler. So maybe we cannot utilize the local exploit to elevate privilege. So again, the automatic enumeration cannot replace entirely the manual enumeration. So we need to make more enumeration manually. For example, we can go to the OPT directory to see whether we can find something interesting. Go to the var, go to the backups. If you follow my channel, as you know, during the manual enumeration stage, I always visit such directories like var backups, and nothing there. Go to the www. Yeah, here we discover or note this backup zip file. As we know, this file, zip file, is not the one we have already downloaded from the target, because that zip file is under the directory with very complicated name, right? So now we need to unzip this file to make analysis. However, under this directory, we cannot do that. We can copy this zip file to temp directory. For furthermore analysis, we can go to the temp directory, and then we can unzip this zip file without any problem. And we need to take a look at this SQL, the DB SQL. You know, earlier we have already reviewed this file. And so this should be maybe the different version of the SQL file. Okay, as you can see, we got here, as you can see, the information is a bit different, insert different. And so we got the email and the password, although this password is encrypted. Don't worry, we can use CrackStation to, yeah, as you can see, I already copied earlier. So this is the result of the decryption. And then we can, we can copy this password to switch our shell to another user or make lateral movement. And we can paste the password in here. It does work. And next, we need to elevate our privilege. How to do? Above all, we need to check whether the current user can run sudo. So we can run sudo with L, normal L, and we can paste the password again. Yeah, can run all commands. So the escalation would be very, very easy. We just run sudo bin bash. No problem. We get the root shell. and we can navigate to root directory, and then we can get out the root flag without any problem. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day.